I'm Francesca Aragno for Arabian Insider. Here we are in this amazing August because finally we are back with our Arabian Insider news, and I'm so excited because today we are going to have a special edition almost dedicated to our fantastic experience that we had in Brazil in July, where we connected with so many amazing breeders and we had so much fun and joy. But before I want to start, I really would like to thank a lot Jarvis Insurance, which is our supporter for our Arabian Insider News. You all know Jarvis Insurance. Besides supporting our Arabian Insider News, is also the company, the insurers that protect our horses from so many years and keep supporting the Arabian horse industry all over the world. So we are so fortunate to have them. So lucky, and I'm so lucky today to be able to thank them for their amazing support. I'm Francesca Ragno, I'm here, I'm so excited for this episode, you have no idea. So a little update about what is gonna be. We are going to connect very shortly with Greg Knowles from USA, and we will talk about an amazing sale that they did, Royal Arabians, and then we are going to connect with Antonio Marianno from our Arabians, and then we are going to connect with Thiago Pontes from TP Arabians. Michele Maurizio, ciao! So happy. As always, I'm here for you, okay? I'm just here as a host to be able to connect you with guests from all around the world and talk about nice, interesting subjects. But if you have questions, if there is something that you would like to know that I'm not asking to our guest, please, you are just one telephone away. Just send me a message so that I can see here in the live and actually bring your questions, your curiosity, everything that you want to know about to our guest. So, for the moment, I think it's time to start. So I would like to invite Greg Knowles to take part of our Arabian Insider News. I'm gonna... But let's see. And I can't wait actually to talk to him. We had such an amazing time in Brazil. I don't know if I've ever been there, but if not, you have to go. Here he is. Ciao, Greg.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good. What about you?
I'm great. Beautiful 120 degrees here in Scottsdale, Arizona. So what can you say? I know, it's like 40 in your world.
Well, that's a very warm weather.
Yes, for sure.
Greg, thank you so much for being here with me tonight in our Arabian Insider News special edition for Brazil. We had so much fun there, and I'm sure you brought so many memories home from that trip.
For sure. Unbelievable trip for us. Unbelievable. You know, we have we had an amazing trip. Historically, Royal is very supportive of the Brazilians and the Brazilian breeders. We have 30 horses down there in the breeding program of Royal. It's always fun because we bring some of our clients, we rent helicopters and so that we can see a lot of farms. We spend 2 days on helicopters going and being hosted by these amazing, great breeders in Brazil.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Greg, before we jump into the Brazilian experience and the Royal Arabians, I would like to ask you, even though I'm sure everybody knows you, but could you please introduce yourself and your experience in your long-term experience in the world of Arabian horses?
Oh, perfect. You make me sound old.
No!
Long. No, I'm kidding. So, you know, I graduated from the University of Washington in Seattle, Washington in 19-something, and I was a radio and television announcer, and I went to work, and I got fired because I tried to copy the world famous Howard Stern, who wasn't very accepted then. So I went home to my hometown, and a kid I played sports with in high school had an Arabian horse farm, and I instantly fell in love with Arabian horses. But I didn't have money, so I couldn't be a breeder. I didn't know anything, so I thought, well, I'll be a trainer someday. So I went to 𝐘𝐲𝐿's Arabians, who later we became Carho, and I apprenticed there for 3 years at 𝐘𝐲𝐿's. I was the person that pulled the famous Muscat off the semi-rig that came in from Russia. I took care of and trained conditioned. I didn't know how to train all the Russian horses. So as they say, when you think you know more than your boss, which I didn't, you go on your own. So I left �𝐾𝐲 and I started my own Arabian horse training center, 1979. I never forget, December 12th, 1979. Most of the people listening today probably weren't born then. But I named it Arabian Expressions. But when I started, it truly was Arabian Depressions because I was starving to death. And I worked hard and built and bought a farm. And Mr. 𝐾𝐑, the famous Dan 𝐾𝐑, a very famous breeder, pulled me aside one day and he said, Greg, let me tell you something. It's not going to be the horses that make you money here in Scottsdale. It's going to be the property you buy to put the horses on. And that the property that I have bought to build farms has been very, very good to me. I've been a judge, Arabian horse judge, for 35 years all over the world. I've judged probably 30 times in South America. I've judged the U.S. National Championships 4 or 5 times, the Canadian. I'm beginning to judge much more in the Middle East and in Europe, which I enjoy a bunch. And then I retired. Sold my farm, retired, and I got a call from Royal one day. And 𝐍𝐒𝐈𝐒 said, Greg, would you come here and have a meeting with me and Cindy? And I said, sure, I would love to do that. And Cindy sat across from me and they offered me a job to be marketing director and sales director. And can you imagine working for yourself for 40 years and all of a sudden you now have a job and you're saying you have to ask if you can go that afternoon to get a haircut, you think. You don't know the rules. Yeah. And they made me a wonderful, fair offer. I accepted. And 𝐍𝐒𝐈𝐒 said, I want you to know that I respect you a ton. I expect certain things out of you, but I want you to be responsible for yourself. So if you want to go get a haircut, go get a haircut. If you want to take off for a week, go somewhere, go. If you need to see horses for us, go. So they've been amazing. They treat me just like family. Sometimes, they love the fact that I'm a judge, and I was a judge so that I can evaluate some of the horses before they go to the show. They like that I have relationships with judges worldwide, that I have friends. And they like that I love the Arabian horse as much as they do. So here we are, 2 years into Royal, and it's been simply, it could not have been better. I like to tell people, besides you, I have the best job in the Arabian horse world.
That's true. Greg, talking about Royal Arabians, we all know that this is an institution, it's a farm, it's a passionate breeder, it's a reality that really supports the Arabian horse community all around the world, especially in Brazil and in America. But as you are part of this reality, tell me something more about what really Royal Arabian is.
I think you are very close on what you see. What you see is what you get. Cindy McGowan, who is our leader, the captain, she is very real and genuine. You can talk to her for 2 minutes and you can say, this person is amazing. She's honest, she's sincere. And she truly just wants the Arabian horse to succeed. When Cindy supports these shows, she's not looking for judge positioning, political advantage. Matter of fact, the opposite. She helps run the World Cup in Vegas and in Scottsdale. And she won't even tell 𝐍𝐒𝐈𝐒 or I, the judges that are picked, until it's official, because she said, I don't want people to even think that you're manipulating horses. And she just will not have it. So our leader is very, very honest and very honorable and great ethics, and she loves the Arabian horse. The person that keeps things alive every single day is 𝐍𝐒𝐈𝐒. He is an amazing person. He's got those eyes that scare a few people, but he is a kind, sincere person. He's the best trainer I've ever watched work in my career, 40 years, and I've seen everybody. He's fair and consistent with his training process. He works 24 hours a day to buy, sell, and care for the animal. We constantly are thinking about our other things. We now have 5 farms in the United States. We have 1 in Florida, 1 in the mountains of Arizona for the mares to go, and the ones to die, and the ones to be cool in the summer. It's cool, and the older mares we don't use anymore, they go there to live their lives out. And it's much cooler in the mountains, and all our good mares that are pregnant get sent there in the summer so they don't have to be here in Scottsdale in the heat. That was all done by Cindy. We have an amazing performance center run by Justin Cowdron. We have a mare breeding in Mesa, Arizona, with Cindy's daughter running that. And of course, here at the show farm on Cactus with all the halter horses with Guzzo, me, and Natalia, and a crew of about 10 or 12 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible.
It's a lot, believe me. It's a lot.
And this shows what also what the Arabian horse is, no? That is not only the most beautiful horse in the world where you can enjoy doing halter show, but really a Royal Arabian shows the versatile of this horse, how you can play, you can enjoy him in the halter, in the performances, in the breeding. There is a world. There is so much.
Yeah, there's days at Justin Calvin's Performance Center that is a big, beautiful barn that goes out into the desert. You'll see some of our clients saddling up horses to just go on trail rides with Arabians into the desert. It's a beautiful thing. It's great.
So nice. So let's go a little bit into the Brazil experience, the Royal Arabians Brazilian experience, which for sure had a big highlight with a new sale and a lot of success. But it has been also much more parties, friends, support, a lot of Arabians, a new performance horse for Justin.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit, how did it go? How was this Brazilian national experience?
It was incredible. You know, Cindy went there and she told me and Guzzo, she said, boys and Justin, we're not buying any horses. And Guzzo and I looked at each other and thought, oh, okay, we'll see. And you know, Cindy loves horses. One of the things we always laugh about and tease her about, if that horse nuzzles her, she's going to own that horse when she watches that one. So she loves horses. She loves auctions. She went to the Legends auction, Francesca, and she literally could not help herself. She was like a kid wanting to raise her hand, and Guzzo's no, no, no. And so we bought some nice horses. She loves to own the great horses. She loves the people of Brazil. The Brazilian show is, as you know, and what you did to bring everybody to the center of the arena was one of the most amazing things I've seen. Kudos to you. It was brilliant. But that camaraderie spoke for itself. Those people are so wonderful, and Cindy thrives on that. She just loves those people. She wants to support them. They're great breeders. I mean, percentage-wise, the Brazilians are amazing breeders. And, you know, we got there because Guzzo was a Brazilian, and he exposed us to going to Brazil. And so it's part of our DNA now. We go, we support, we sell, we buy, we go to the farms. They're all, Mark and Cindy, and all of us are friends to so many big breeders. It's a wonderful place to be. The horses we bought, I could not tell you how excited we are about the ones that arrived. And matter of fact, Lunatica, the mare that was the big talk last year, the gold junior champion that we bought for a lot of money, she just arrived this morning. She just got off the truck about an hour ago. So she's in a stall finally here, and we're so about her. She's one of the most amazing mares I've ever seen. She's young. She's 3. She's by Dominic. But she's here. And next week, the boys and one filly we bought get on the truck and they head to America on the plane.
Fantastic. So Brazil has been for so many years a reference point and still is for all the industry, because some of the most exquisite horses that really perform and succeeded all around the world actually were bred in Brazil. We want to mention, of course, 𝐸 one of the foundation mare for Dubai Arabian Horse Stud, Baviera HVP. Just recently, in the last years, we had the TM Bella, which succeeded so much in Middle East, in Europe. Chablis HVP, which is one of the leading females in the Global Champions Arabians Tour. Farfalla HHC, Lady Lolita. So many names.
Royal
TM Ipanema.
Assad, one of the hottest stallions in the world.
Bravissimo.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Brazil is really a reference point for not only for Brazil, not only for America, for Middle East, for Europe, for all around the world. And this year you bought, I think, the most exceptional colt that we saw there. His name is Pavarotti. Please tell me something about him.
La 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 la. We run around the farm just humming that. We're so excited. We can't believe it. Do you want to hear the story about how all this unfolded?
Absolutely.
It was a great, you know, we were there, and what the Brazilians do, that they're so open-minded. you know, in the afternoon, all the trainers are down there and they invite us all to walk the barn aisles and see them stand up their horses and product. And we get to see them, they expose them. So we saw a lot of horses. And so when we see great ones, so they brought a couple horses out and they stood up the horse and Pavarotti, a chestnut 2-year-old colt, and 𝐶𝐄𝐒 walked around one direction and I walked around another direction. And we looked at each other and sort of smirked. And they walked away and 𝐶𝐄𝐒 said, and as he opens his mouth, he says, I love this. And I go, I love this horse. And we both said, we love this horse. So we didn't see him move. We just saw him stand up. And we liked everything about him. He's a horseman's horse, super balanced, super quality, very correct. So 𝐶𝐄𝐒 has a lot of friends and connections. So he says, okay, we have to find out if this horse has carriage and what he would do in the arena. And 𝐑𝐐𝐒 said, this horse is like nothing you've ever seen. And we said, no way. And 𝐶𝐄𝐒 basically looked at him and said, don't tell me the truth. He said, this horse is unbelievable on the end of a lead. So 𝐶𝐄𝐒 and I, we went to find Cindy, and she says, we said, we want you to buy this horse. And the guy, you know, the first ask was high, you know, retail. And Cindy said, well, let's offer. And we said, Cindy, this horse ain't going to last. There's not going to be any negotiations because if that horse hits the ring, 5 people are going to pay more than what they're asking right now. We need to buy this horse. Are you boys sure? Yes. This is the one you two want? Yes. No doubt about it. No, this is him. So she says, okay, do it. She went and negotiated the deal with RFI, Rodrigo. We get back that we're buying him. And 𝐶𝐄𝐒 and I look at him and we go, what if he comes in the ring and he isn't fancy? We haven't seen him. The gate opens, 𝐑𝐐𝐒 brings him in. It's the most incredible thing. 𝐶𝐄𝐒 2 steps. 𝐶𝐄𝐒 and I are high-fiving just like we won the World Cup. We were so thrilled and so excited. We could not even believe it.
I remember that moment. That was
yeah. It was like the whole arena sort of dropped their jaw.
Yeah.
Like, oh my, I haven't seen anything like. And Cindy was like smirking and looking at us too and going, good job, boys. And so, you know, he's been tested. He's booked to fly, and he leaves this week. So we're thrilled that he's coming to America.
Fantastic. Well, my congratulations for him because I was lucky enough to be there. So I remember exactly the moment you're talking about. We shared some videos of him. So for whoever was not at the Brazilian Nation, they could have enjoyed Pavarotti through the social media. He is really spectacular. So now, future plan. Are we going to be so lucky to see him in Europe or Middle East or no?
Not for a while. He's going to come here. We're going to try to get him ready to be at the Pay for Charity at the U.S. Nationals, that special money program for 2-year-olds, and show him there. And if not, if he's not quite ready, he'll be held back and get ready for Scottsdale.
So cool. So I can't wait to hear and see more about him. But Greg, for you, the Brazilian National was not only about Royal Arabians, not only about Pavarotti, but you also had the cherry on the cake. And so we move into the next subject, which is, of course, the absolutely beautiful, very well-known Aria Rakim.
Yes.
Tell me something about him. I want to know, most of all, like, that's a partnership, and I want to know the story about him.
Okay,
Tell me.
great. Yeah, I'll tell you the 2 stories. I'll tell you the story of him quickly, and then I'll tell you the story at the show. It's a really fun show. If you got the moment, the time, we have the time.
We have the time.
John Mitchell, one of my very best client when I was a trainer, for 10 years was my best client. He trusted me, he believed me, and he goes, I'm kind of bored. And I said, well, let's go to the marquee auction. Let's talk to Jeff Sloan. Let's see if we can put you in a partnership with a mare, maybe, when all, you know, Grossman, Jeff Sloan, all the major American players, some of them, and buy a mare. So they looked at Lady Dominica, and it just didn't work. She's from Brazil, beautiful mare. It didn't work for John. John said, you know, I don't know. I said, John, let's go look at this colt, this Rashim colt. by Rashim out of Hibit a U.S. national champion mare who is a Valentino daughter and one of the most beautiful mares, one of the two best Valentino daughters. And there were no Rashim colts in the United States except him. Well, I was very, very successful with a horse named Magic Dream, an 𝐈𝐍𝐒𝐈𝐿 son that did the same thing, Francesca. There were none. I was the first one to buy one. And he went back to his country like Rashim's never coming here. So we had something no one had. We had scarcity. We had an individual that was not, the blood wasn't available. So it put us ahead of every game. So we worked a deal with Jeff, and we said we would pay this at the sale. We're willing to go this high. And he sold for $100,000, and John bought him, and he looked absolutely horrible on stage. He was terrified of the lights. He was 2 years old, and he looked like a fat little dumpling. And I was dying. I was thinking, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do now? John, I just bought John a pig, a little fat, chunky thing. So we took him home. We brought him back to Royal. No, I took him back to my old farm at that point in time. And I said to my guy, Diego Rodriguez, I said, let's fit this horse and see what he's capable of doing. So we had a showing one day, and he looks at me, Diego, and says, you need to bring the horse out. What horse? Rakim. I said, what? He goes, Greg, you're not going to believe it. We brought him out in a showing, and what he was, you see today. He came out blowing and snorting and elegant and refined and beautiful and sweet and kind and eyes giant. And then I would do these showings, and he just took off. The market, next thing you know, I have 100 mares booked to the horse. Everybody's singing his praises. He goes to the show for the first time. Pilates is the reigning Scottsdale champion. He beats him. And then he goes, and then we hold him back, and we show him at Scottsdale the next year, and he was unanimous champion there. And then we took him to U.S. Nationals. So we got him back here this year, and we had a lot of interest in him from Brazil. A group came over, they bought 28 breedings to him, and so that was great. And so Guzzo and I were sitting in the office not too long ago, and we said, you know, Brazil loves this horse. Let's send him there for a couple of years. So we decided to do that, and we talked to Jose Alves and J.M. Haras, and he was very excited, and we worked a great deal. So he's going to go, and Guzzo said, let's show him. I go, where? The Brazilian Nationals. I go, you out of your mind? That's 2 weeks away. So the long and short of it, every time when he got on the truck and was shipped 3,000 miles to Miami to fly out, I couldn't breathe. And when I get the call, he's here safe, I took a breath. He flew over and arrived in Campinas, and I couldn't breathe. And I get a call, he's here safe, and I could breathe. They're not releasing him out of quarantine because there's nobody working on the weekend. So Guzzo, being a Brazilian, made some contacts, and the next thing you know, he calls me and says, Rakim is at the show in his stall, and I could breathe. So 4 days before the show, he's finally in his stall to go to the show. He's been in quarantine, traveling. He's such a kind horse. He's a wonderful horse. So the long and short of it was, I'm sitting with my wife, and I'm watching the gate start to open, and I'm thinking, maybe this wasn't such a good idea. You know, I was like getting like, what if he's a flop? What if he goes third? And I'm freaking out, and I'm nervous. So anyway, that thing happened. He came in, I thought he was beautiful. He walked around, he was first up. And he walked to center ring, and he hit a look, and not everybody had ever seen him. And it was a beautiful look. And the crowd, what felt to me like a minute of silence of everybody just staring at him, including the other contestants and the judges, it was probably 5 seconds. But I knew at that point he was going to win that class. Just the way, his presence, the quality. So he won. And Guzzo talks to Rakim. It's the only horse I've ever seen that he actually talks to, like they're friends. And he told Rakim, he said, look, after that, he walked over the rail, and I said, what do you think? And he says to Rakim, he says, Rakim, you're not going to ever have to show for me again. You gave me everything. We're done. And he dropped his hands and let the lead low, and Rakim dropped his head right into Guzzo's arms. It was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. I was like tearing up. And then he won. And now what we really wanted to do is get this horse to Brazil and get 100 of their best mares to make a lot of amazing babies so that this horse can continue to become a breeding horse.
Such a beautiful story.
Yeah, it was fun.
You see that feelings and energies never
Yeah,
lies. Like you followed your what you felt, and at the end of the day, it was really the right choice.
you're exactly right, for sure.
And Greg, one last question for you. I know that for you, the Arabian horse, it's your life, it's your passion, and it's also a family affair
Yeah,
because you share these not only with your friends, with your partners, but also with your wife.
yes.
So tell me something about this point. How the Arabian horse really changed, or what did it bring into your life on this matter?
Mike, her name is Michelle, but we all know her as Mike. She has always loved horses. 2 years old, she's got pictures of riding saddlebreds with her mother. Her mother was a horsewoman. She became a horse lady. She worked hard. She raised 3 wonderful daughters that all have PhDs. And so in and out of that in her life, she dealt with the horses. She's an incredible rider. And so her passion is beautiful horses, Arabian horses, and the performance English pleasure horses. She loves that. But she's fallen in love with Royal and the horses and me. We share that passion that we're constantly sort of talking about horses. We're excited about children. Have you seen that filly by this horse, that horse? Do you think we can lease this mare to breed to this thing? I can't wait to see the babies. We've been 4 times to the mare farm, at just her and I, just to see the babies, the foal crops, and enjoy those beautiful babies there. So it's no longer a journey for me personally by myself. It's a journey with my partner, and it makes it so much fun. I'm no longer in a city somewhere by myself judging. We go everywhere together. We share all of it together, and it's become a passion for both of us.
Love to hear that.
Thanks.
The Arabian horse brings so much into our life. It's
Oh,
just unbelievable.
it's given me everything, Francesca, everything,
Thank you.
from success in the world and financially. It's just been good. It's been a great world.
Yeah. So, Greg, thank you so much for your time, for your words, for sharing your little stories with us. I'm sure everyone that is watching us really appreciate it, and it's so cool to hear so much passion and joy and life journey from your side.
It is certainly an honor to be with you today. I've followed you for years. I always tell you you're the most talented at what you do, and so I'm a big fan. And thank you so much for allowing me to be part of your show.
It's my pleasure. It's my honor. Feel free to tell me whenever you want to come. You are our guest, our beloved guest. You know that. So I hope to see you soon, Greg.
Yep.
Maybe in Europe or at the World Championship or in America.
I look forward
And
to it.
thank you
Take
so,
care.
so much.
My honor. Take care, sweetheart.
Say bye to everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Ciao, ciao. So this was a beautiful, beautiful interview with Greg Knowles from USA, Royal Arabians. He shared a beautiful story, and I loved it. We had so much fun in Brazil. For every one of you that are watching, guys, if you have never been in Brazil, you have to go next year. Book your trip now. You have to go to the Brazilian National because it's not only a show, it's an experience, really. And the breeders there are great, and there is so much fun and so many beautiful horses, different bloodlines, so you can learn so much. Highly recommended from me. Let's see if it starts. No. Sometimes you do like that and the point starts. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed as well. But now it's time for our second guest, which is Antonio Marianno from Mar Arabians. Let's see if we can connect with him. Mar Arabians, yalla, let's go. Just invited him. He is a great friend. He is such a lovely, passionate young breeder that does so much with the Arabian horses. He really experienced the Arabian horses like 360 degrees. Here he is. Ciao, Antonio.
Ciao, ciao Francesca, come stai?
Very good. I can see Enrico is live with us. He just
Yes, yeah, I
Ciao,
saw him
Enrico.
as well. I was watching it on my personal account, but then we swapped to the Mar Arabians account. So
Antonio, how are you? So happy to see you.
Me too. Thank you. Honored to be here, actually. Thank you very much for having me.
It's our pleasure. Antonio, so let me introduce you. Antonio Marianno is a very young breeder from Mar Arabians. He is a wonderful husband and exceptional father. He loves the Arabian horses to death, and he experienced the Arabian horses as I believe everyone should experience because you do everything with them.
Yes.
So this is amazing.
Yeah.
Antonio, you are an example for
Thank
all
you
the
very
young
much.
breeders. at least for how I see you. So please tell me where your passion for the Arabian horses come from. Let's talk about you, about your history.
Wow. Oh, you had a very good interview, beautiful interview with Greg, and Greg share some amazing things that I can relate it. I actually don't know when it started. It started for me as a young kid. My aunt had a horses, not Arabian horses, and then I saw one Arabian horses, and then just fall in love with that. And I was tracking them down, while watching all the movies, reading all the books, buying any Arabian horse magazines that we can find in Brazil. Back then, early 90s, wasn't as easy as today for us to find that. And then one day, back in 2018, I guess, I decided that I would buy a horse. And Isabel, my wife, she was my girlfriend by the time, and she said, okay, go for it. And then I Googled it, and I was fortunate enough to have Rodrigo from RFI Arabians to introduce me to this beautiful world. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. How many years now are that you are involved really into the Arabian horse community, especially in Brazil?
I would say that would be 5 years now. So when I started, I bought the first horse in back 2018, and it took me 2 years to get fully involved with the community and I was very well reception by the community, by the breeders that I did not know by when the moment I bought a horse. I would say, yeah, 5 years since 2019. And then when we joined Rodrigo on the board of directors back in 2020, that's when all it started and I get more involved.
And this is the point also for the Arabian horses. No, I love to say that the Arabian horse brings the world together, and this is so true. Like we know each other thanks to this passion.
Exactly.
And it's also amazing how the Arabian horse really build up and creates like a community where basically from one day to the other one, you are just welcome and you feel part of a world, especially in Brazil, because I would say that it's not like that everywhere, but in Brazil, you really have this sense of group of community. Tell me something more about this.
I couldn't agree more with you, Francesca. I felt the same way. In the first year, I said, okay, I'm getting to know the people. Like in the next Brazilian Nationals, welcoming everyone else tables. Hey, Antonio, how you doing? Need some come visiting the farm, so forth and so on. And then when you realize it looks like you have done nothing, but you're doing a lot, and everyone is welcoming you to see their horses, to share their knowledge, to ask you about, oh, did you bought that mare? I saw you bought that mare in the auction. Well, what are your thoughts on that? So I think that we brought us together. And then, as you said, we met on the show the first time. Was that, okay. And then we met again in Scottsdale. And then again, we keep talking. And that's the big community. I had the opportunity to meet Greg Knowles as well a couple of times. And then you became a part of the family, as you said. I think that is, and in Brazil especially, that we are very warm people. The breeders are always willing to give us so much for the new guys.
Absolutely. Tell me about how do you share your passion with your family? In Brazil, one of my favorite moments is when you put your little daughter, which is like that, on this Arabian horse. It was so beautiful. So tell me, how do you live your passion with your wife and also now with your daughter?
Wow. Wow, that was this I couldn't be luckier, Francesca. I never dreamed that my daughter would love the horses as much as she does. What happened for us is with my family, when the first filly was born, then everything changed, because then Isabel fell in love again with the puppies, so to say, with the youngsters. So the foals were change everything. And then Mila, she just loved the horses. Since she was born, we presented and showed the horses to her. And then she's now growing up. I always try to put her in the horse. And now she asks every time that she saw a helmet, she asks, hey, Dad, that's right. So, and she is very picky with the horses. Not every day, every horse that she likes. We went to some farms, some friend farms, and she was like watching, not this one, that one, Dad, that one. I want to hide it. So it's amazing. And then this is the moment you realize that every risk that you take is worth it. Because when you see your daughter not want to leave the horse, that's priceless.
And we all know that to breed Arabian horses, to own Arabian horses, is a big risk, is a big effort, is a big investment. It's a lot of sacrifices, but it's all worth it.
Yes.
I think we all share this. So, Antonio, you're currently competing, at least in the Brazilian national, not only in the halter, but also in the performance competition. So tell me more about this. How do you actually select your horses? How do you prepare them to be shown both as performances and halter? Because that's that's a point I think everyone should work more on. At least we could increase also a little bit a market and a space for all the horses that maybe are not beautiful enough to go with on the big competition.
Sure.
So let's share this with other breeders.
Okay. And actually also are in show jumping with my Arabian horses. So I do the three things actually. The first thing is I love horses and I love to hide the horses. So that's why, and I think that everyone likes the beautiful horses. It's very great to ride a beautiful horse than a horse that is not so beautiful. That's why I love the Arabian horses as well. They are very clever, very smart, you can develop a very good and strong partnership with your horse. So part of the horses are in the show jumping, and then we are now doing the show jumping circuit in Brazil. The performance horses that I rode from Rodrigo and both Ricardo Saliba, so from Hash Studio and from RFI Arabians. I was lucky enough, the guys allowed me and lent me some horses to do the performance, because when I moved the horses to show jumping, all the other mares were on full, so I lacked the horses on the performance. So, but how I select the horses by the strong body and a very strong leg as well. That's what I like, because I look the horse as a rideable horse, and then I look to the beauty of the neck and face. That's for me a very different thing from I would say the modern or the fashion horse that are so high right now. And then from the halter horse, we are lucky enough to have Behenga. He's a very experienced trainer. He's held in Estância Monte Verde. So the horses are training very hard. And then we have Leopoldo Guzzo as our consultant, as the guy that doesn't need any introduction in the Arabian world. So he chose us to be one of his clients. And then we, alongside with Deja, the trainer and the handler, we are selecting the horses that are more fittable and capable to the Class A halter, and also those who are not for sure in our farm will be rideable. That's pretty much.
Tell me, which is the performance that you like the most?
I would say Hunter Pleasure. Yeah, Hunter Pleasure. Yeah, it's the most beautiful one. It's closer to the dressage, so I think we are lacking on Arabian horses on the dressage. It would be so beautiful to see Arabian horses competing on dressage one day, maybe.
It will be amazing. So, Antonio, last question for you. If you should, as I anticipate before, for me, you are an example of a young breeder, young, passionate Arabian horse expert. So, if you should recommend to any young breeder or motivate a new person to buy an Arabian horse and to enter our community to take this journey for his life, what would you tell to them?
Well, that's a journey of your life. That's how I'll start. Well, it's easier than it looks. You have to take some risks and some courage, but you will be able not only to join a beautiful community all around the world, but you will have the most companion, the most clever, most intelligent horse. The horse feels you, knows you, and want to be with you. The most gentle horse. It's amazing to see how gentle the horses are with Mila, for example, my daughter. So the Arabian horse is a very strong horse, passionate and fire horse, but at the same time, it's so delicate, so companion. So I would say it's easier than it looks. We are all here to help you. There's so many people that want to help you with the crossbreedings, the horses to buy, where to go, places to store the horses if you don't have the farm. So we are more than welcome, and we will have the journey of your life. That it will be the starting of the chapter, the most exciting chapter of your life, buying an Arabian horse. Because as we said, we can do anything: trail rides, show jumping, dressage, performance, and halter in only one
That's
horse.
fantastic.
And also endurance.
Also
A horse
endurance.
can do everything. Yeah.
And you have in Brazil a very big and successful breeder of
Yeah.
Arabian endurance horses, Rastad. They
Yes,
are
exactly.
great, and not only him. So, Antonio, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your story. I want to suggest to everyone that does not know Mar Arabians yet to get in touch with Antonio. Ask him. As you can see, he's an amazing person, and I love what you're doing. So keep it up. Keep sharing the love for Arabian horses.
Thank you
And
very
I
much
hope
for having me,
to
Francis.
see you soon.
I hope to see you soon as well. Maybe at Europe, I don't know.
Yeah, it would be amazing to have you in Europe.
Yeah, I hope,
Fantastic.
See you soon. Thank you very much. It was a really good time sharing this. Thank you for the opportunity.
It's my pleasure, and I hope to have you as a guest another time. You know, you're always welcome.
You know.
So,
Thank you. I'm always at your availability. It would be a pleasure as always.
Thank you.
You very much. Bye.
A big kiss to you, to your family, and to everyone in Brazil.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.
So this was the fantastic and beautiful story of Antonio Marianno. He's a great friend, and I'm so honored that we share some beautiful moments together. But now is the time for a great breeder from Brazil, TP Arabians, Thiago Pontes. I'm so glad and so happy that he is with us tonight because he can really share a beautiful story. Here he is. Ciao, Thiago!
Hey, how are you?
I am very good. In the sunny Italy, enjoying my August after a fantastic trip to Brazil.
Oh, that's nice. Enjoy your vacation.
How are you, Thiago? How are things in Brazil?
I'm fine. Everything's so nice. After the great Brazilian nationals, uh, I'm working hard in my business, but always with the passion with my horses.
That's fantastic. Tiago, let me introduce you. Tiago Pontes is a breeder from TP Arabians, very big passionate of Arabian horses from many years. Tiago, I know your story, but I'm sure that many people that are following us now would like to know more about you. So tell me, where your passion for the Arabian horses comes from, and how did you start it, and tell me everything about you.
Okay. First of all, it's a pleasure be invited from Arabian Insider to share my story, share everything that I'm building in the Arabian horse community. In fact, I fell in love with the Arabian horse in 1991 when I was 14 years old. My father, he had a farm, and we saw that we'll have an auction from Arabian horses. At that time, the auctions, they are like a show, like the auction from the Arabian Legends, you know, a party, music, everything so nice. And then we've been to this auction, and I was pushing my father, please, let's buy one mare, let's buy one mare. And then we bought our first mare. After this, we bought more 2 or 3 mares. We choose maybe the good mares at that time, nice mares at that time. 1 year after, so in 1992, our first Starn was born. That was a mare called 𝐻𝐻𝐿. That was a mare that she became one of the most beautiful mares in the world. She went to United States. She went to the Middle East, and and then so we start growing, we start getting passionate. I was so passionate that my family, my father, he bought, but the most person passionate on the Arabian horse was myself. And then we breed until the beginning of 2002, 2001, 2001, 2002, and during these 10 years of breeding with my father, we had a lot of champions. We made one Brazilian national champion stallion, a mare. So we had a very nice story at that time.
Fantastic. And now you're back. Now you're back with your farm. You had a fantastic farm when I visited 3 years ago, and now you bought a new farm that is even better. So tell me about the current TP Arabians, your dream, your evolution, your new farm, and your new successes that you had at the Brazilian National.
No, that's nice. Yeah, when you visit me 3 years ago, I was in the other farm. That is still the farm of my father, but I believe that 18 years after I stopped breeding with my father in 2002, I understand that was the time to I take this passion that is the Arabian horse. I was with a more how can I say, mature and organized life. I start to analyze again the breedings, to get involved again. And I believe that was the time to I have my farm, to I have my own breeding. This happens on the beginning of, on the final of 2020 during the pandemic. And that time I was again crazy and passionate about the Arabian horses. So my farm, my new farm and what I'm building in TP Arabians, everyone is invited when visit Brazil to visit TP Arabians. And when I bought this farm, the most important point for me for a breeding and a breeder is energy, passion, and love. And when I visit this farm at the first time, I saw that the energy was great. That will be the best place to I breed my horses with love and passion. So you enter in my farm and you feel that. So at that time, we start to growing up, and until nowadays. But a
That's
short
fantastic.
story, 4 years.
Well, short but very intense. I remember the first year you went back to the Brazilian national, and wow, it was so full of determination and passion, and you were just there. And now we are smashing it, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy to see your journey and to see how much dedication and effort and passion you're putting into it. It's beautiful. Like this is all what the Arabian horse is about. It's a life journey and emotion, feelings. So it's amazing.
Yeah, I enjoy the journey,
Enjoy the journey.
create, you breed, you need to be resilient. You need to the Arabian horse, and to breed the Arabian horse, we learn a lot of things. One of those things is enjoy the journey, enjoy each moment, enjoy each new baby that it's born. When you want to plan that breeding, it's something amazing. So I think that it's this part of enjoy the journey. It's amazing for the Arabian horse
And
breeding.
the Arabian horse teach you patience also. The heart of being patient, the heart of actually trying to envision what you like and trying to put so much energy and dreams and effort and inspiration in what you do now, because of course you have 1 year of time to see if you were right. So this is I think the Arabian horse teach a lot about life.
I agree.
And can change for sure the person you are and how you behave and how your personality develop during the years. So And you're for sure one example for this. So, but now I want to talk about your success at the Brazilian National 2024. That were many, but one of the biggest one is of course your big boy. His name is Maximillion NA. So I want to know about his story and your intuition in purchasing Maximilian when he was very young in the USA. What does he represent for you? Tell me.
I think that Maximilian, it's that stories that it's to we write a book, you know, to we do a movie. I was listening to Antonio Marianno, and he said that when he was a boy, he was always passionate by the Arabian horse, based on videos, films, and books. And I remember a movie that it's The Black Stallion. I get in since I was a young boy, I was in love with the Arabian horse, based on the Black Stallion. That
Me too. Me
that
too.
that friendship, you know, that friendship from the horse and the boy, what that boy he learns with that horse, how he loves that horse, how that horse loves him. And I believe that my story with Maximilian, it's not a black stallion, but the bay stallion. Because Maximilian, I bought him when he was 11 months of age. So it was young, you know. He was on US. 𝐍𝐄𝐖𝐒 and Sandro, that it's some guys that I trust them, I know them. They called me. It was on one Sunday in the lunchtime, and 𝐍𝐄𝐼𝐒 told me, Thiago, you really need to see the video of this young boy. And then so at that time I was not looking to buy a young colt. You know, we know that it changed a lot, a colt. And I saw the video. I get in love. At that day, we finalized the deal. I just saw 2 or 3 videos from him, but I had the feeling that Maximilian, he had something so special. 1 or 2 weeks later, he went to Scottsdale show. He won the Scottsdale show. After that, he came to Brazil, and he starts his journey in Brazil as a junior colt. But again, it was the feeling that I really believe that this horse has something special. And when I say that Maximilian, he have a movie story, is because if you analyze since this first day that I saw him until now and what I'm expecting for his future, I'm totally confident that he will be one of the horses, one of the most important horses worldwide. I will do Maximilian in this way. Why I'm saying that? When he arrived here in Brazil, when he was a junior colt on 2022, he arrives here in Brazil after the Scottsdale show. You was in my farm. We was trying to do a video from him, and at that time he just arrived from US. He was not as good. He was at that age that the junior sometimes is not good, but I was believing on him. We take him to the Brazilian National. He get an impact in the Brazilian National. The people like him, but he was not ready. And but from that time until now that he became Brazilian National Champion, young stallion, he's improving a lot. He's the only one of his generation that became a very nice stallion. He's the only one from his generation that it's improving year by year. And everyone saw on that night at the Brazilian Nationals and what he can come to the future. I think that now, I believe that the job that Maximilian made at that night, he impressed everyone that it was there. He entered in the ring like Pavarotti in his category. He says, I'm the owner of this ring. I will win this championship. And I came here to say to everyone that was against me. Everyone that don't believe in Maximilian, I'm Maximilian, you know.
He did such a scene. Like I remember, and the full arena just exploded. Like wow, it was clearly the winner for everyone. Do I remember? Was he unanimous? I don't remember.
No, no,
He was
no,
not
no,
unanimous.
no, no.
Well, that's for the next year then. We have another goal.
For sure.
So Antonio Mariano, in the meantime, you were talking, just said that everyone fell in love with the Arabian horses thanks to the Black Stallion, and this is actually true. This movie, I think, impressed so many lives around the world that just
No,
made a big
and
impression.
you know what? When I decide to return to breed on 2020, I was one day with my kids, with my family, my wife, and we said, okay, let's see again the movie of the Black Stallion. And that day, I decide to return to breed again.
Wow,
Yes.
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's
Very good.
that movie. It's amazing.
I'm very happy that you did this choice. I'm very happy that you took your courage back and you said, okay, now I go for my dream, because it's something that I think at one point, if this passion for the Arabian horses lives into your vein, we all reach this moment in which we say, okay, I have to step back, I have to do this, and it's just stronger than us. It's an addiction at the end of the day.
Exactly. Okay.
Well, beautiful story, and I know the interest worldwide really grew up about Maximilian. I also know you had offers from all around the world to actually sell him, but you
It's
didn't,
not for
because
sale.
that's your boy. And that's amazing, because you're a real breeder. This is what you do when you love your horse. You just keep him, and you don't only look at the money side, which is for sure important, but not everything. So
Yes.
I'm very happy that you
Yes.
kept him. And Thiago, the Brazilian national saw also a new chapter for your breeding program. When you told me about this new news, I was absolutely like amazed. And I guess by now everybody knows about what I'm talking about, but we can, if they don't know, we can mention again. One of the most exquisite, beautiful, bay, extreme mare of Brazil that represented so much for Rastad in the past years now belongs to TP Arabians, and I'm sure the future there will be amazing. I'm of course talking about Preferida Rach. Tell me about her. How all this went.
Yes. Well, I told you in the day that I bought her. I think that she was unanimous, and she's unanimous for everyone. I think that Preferida, certainly, it's one of the most prized animals in Brazil. She won everything here in Brazil, and year every year she becomes more beautiful. And this year she was amazing. You know, she was really amazing. She has a unique beauty. And when I start to see what she, because sometimes you have beautiful mares, incredible mares, but they don't produce. And Preferida, since her first baby, she presents to everyone that she's an amazing producer. Pavarotti, it's an example. She had other babies that it's so. Royal also bought another baby from her. Her embryo at the Arabians Legend was an amazing. Was the high volume at the auction, and in the auction, I was thinking about because I believe, Francesca, that every breeder they need to have their own. They have a pillar that the horse that they will believe that this is the type of the horse that I want to breed, you know, and and uh, and, and this is what I believe that when I saw Preferida, I was looking. This is the type of the horse that I like. This is what I want to breed, you know, and so many times I talk with people, I talk with many people, and sometimes the people say, which is your type of horse? What you are looking for? And when I realized this question, I said, I need to buy a horse like Preferida. I will invest a lot, but I believe that, first of all, this mare, she desires to stay in Brazil. Because for sure, if I don't buy her, someone will buy her, and she will go to US, to Middle East, and I want to keep a mare like this one in Brazil. The second point is that um, I also bought her because I believe that she with Maximilian will be an amazing, and I can, and what I'm doing with Maximilian and I'm going to do with Preferida, I want to do with Preferida like a 𝐸𝐻𝐒 that becomes a mare that the world will see and talk about her with her producing, with about her beauty. And so this is the reason that I during the nationals, I, before the nationals, I was thinking about to buy her, but I didn't go on. But during the nationals, I take this decision because I really believe that she is some horse that will be a legend. Some horses, it's legends. Preferida will be one of the legends.
Fantastic. I think she's already a legend. She was so many time Brazilian national champion, and she's the mother, as you said, of Pavarotti and many other beautiful horses. And she's just an example of beauty, of one of the most exquisite horses, for sure in Brazil, if not only in the world. She also, I was very touched from her story that Ricardo Saliba shared with me, how much this mare actually was important for Rach and for the family, and how much this trophy that she won, winning unanimous Brazilian national senior mare this year, meant for whole Rach. So I think that your thought to keep her in Brazil, it's fantastic, and the whole Brazil is lucky to have breeders like you that actually have the potential and the possibility to buy and keep such a mare in Brazil, in the country where she belongs and she was born. That's beautiful. That's
Yes,
beautiful.
and she, as I told you, she won everything here in Brazil. Uh, Preferida, she don't need to prove anything else to anyone. So now I'm bringing her to my farm. She deserves to live like a horse, to be with her good place to live and to rest. And so this is what I'm doing to Preferida.
Tiago, last question for you. If you would imagine yourself and your farm in 10 years, how this will all be?
Well, um, for, uh, well, I told everyone, and everyone knows about my objectives, my challenge. I don't want to be someone breeding just to breed. As I told you, energy, passion, and love is what I put in my breeding program. But I want to be one of the great references worldwide in the breeding. When we are talking about breedings, I have this plan. I have goals to become one of the great breeding references worldwide. And my main challenge and my objective is when someone look at a horse that was bred by TP, the people look and say, this is a TPA horse, the style TPA. So this is my challenge. It's not going to be easy, but I'm investing. I know what is the type of the horse that I want. So I want to build my own type of horse. Maybe it's crazy, but life, we need to dream, and I dream.
Fantastic. Tiago, so many beautiful words. I'm so happy to hear all these words from you. We had so many discussion about breeding, about dreams, about what we want to build up for ourselves. It's beautiful, and I couldn't be more happy to see you succeeding, to see that all your efforts are actually coming through, and you're smashing it, and this is so important, not only for you but for Brazil, for all the Arabian community. So thank you for everything that you do, and keep up your dreams, keep up smashing it, keep up, looking at your vision and try to fly over with our beautiful horses.
No, it's gonna be a pleasure. The first babies from Maximillion will start to born next week. So I hope to give very good news because the first babies is coming on.
Yay! Thiago,
Yes.
I have a question from a person online that is asking, what is the biggest challenge that the breeders in our time are facing? Tell me.
Uh, you know, I think that what I really believe, Francesca, is that everyone that starts to breed, they want a result very, very fast. So I think this is something that the people needs to take care, because if you want to have a very fast results, you need to take care, because I think that you, again, you need to breed, and you need to focus if you really love the Arabian horse, because you'll have a lot of job, you'll have a lot of investment, you'll have a lot of people saying bad things to you, that don't believe on this horse, don't believe in that horse, you need to buy the type of my horse. Just believe in what you believe, not in the other, because you are the breeder. If I want to breed the horse of the other one, I don't need to be a breeder. So I really think that the most challenge is study a lot, study the bloodlines, be close to people that you trust, and try to always analyze a lot, because otherwise you are going to buy one horse and then you are don't, maybe someone will ask you to buy this horse and you don't like this horse, but you are going to buy because you are listening to other one, and this can dismotivate. So keep strong, keep motivated. You need to, you have the healthy of the horses. You need sometimes the horses, they are get sick, so you need to be always with a good energy, and believe that in one day, if you have a goal, you will achieve.
I would also like to add that, like for me, I started 2 years ago to breed. For sure, one of the biggest challenge I had, besides finding the right mares, which I have to say was not too difficult, but I managed. It was to find the right stallions, because at the end of the day, like it's very difficult, in my opinion, to find a stallion that can improve or that can be complete enough not to ruin the mare, and also that is accessible, because nowadays the stallions that we know are breeding well also are are for crazy prices. The semen costs so much, so for like a person like me, it's not that easy to afford. And then if you don't want to use that stallions, maybe you want still to use fashion stallions, because in this way maybe you have a chance to sell the horses just because they carry names. So it's very tricky. I think this is a big point, to find the right stallions. And what I would advise to the people, even though I'm a very young breeder, so but that's my idea and I'm gonna share it, is that sometimes people, I have the feeling, just follow what the show scene shows. So only the horses that are winning in the shows then are the right stallions to choose as breeding stallion. In my opinion, this is not the case. Like, you should choose the stallion that you like, that has the feature to improve your mare, even though maybe this horse never won in a competition, because the shows that don't really share everything about the horse. What do you think about this, Thiago?
Yeah, I agree with you. Maybe I think that this the moment that because what I see nowadays in the world, worldwide, everyone that is breeding, we have like a copy paste. This type of bloodline goes well with this bloodline, and everything is okay. But again, what you are doing different. So I think you need to analyze what your mare needs, what your stallion needs, and then you need to do this combination. So I think that my challenge, and maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. Maybe we have, if you want maybe a faster result, maybe you can, okay, use the same breeding from a horse that it's already winning. Okay, it's okay. But what you are doing from difference to be a different breeder. So this, I think this is the challenge. So analyze exactly what you want to build different. Because if it's easy, if you are going to use the same as everyone, it's okay. So let's do it. So this, I think that it's the challenge for every new breeder and for everyone. You need to try to create sometimes something different and something like what you are thinking.
Yeah. They say that's a great point. What I see is that the majority of people are breeding and changing their program, what they are seeing at the show. Absolutely. But also because if we go back at what the show was meant to be, it was a point, like an event where all the breeders would actually gather to bring their horses and see where their breeding program will stand, and then they will, gather to speak about breeding, speak about horses, understand where they would stand. So this is what the shows used to be. Nowadays, for sure, we increased. The Arabian horse industry is growing massively. It became a business, so the shows are more spectacles, and the horses there are, the quality is so extreme in most of the most beautiful shows in the world. So I think the full idea of the show changed a little. Maybe we still have this idea for the smaller show. And in Brazil, I think you do. You still have this reality of people and breeders gathering together to see where they stand. But yeah, we need to really open our eyes for all the breeders and understand where you are, in which show you are participating, and as you say, Thiago, what do you want, where you want to achieve, and not only close your eyes in what's happening in the shows, because
Exactly.
also most of the time the show horses are not the horses that breed well. This is also something that we need to consider, especially
Yes.
in the mares. So it's a tricky game.
Yes. But again, I think that this is the beauty of the business. Uh, Again, I like one type, you like another type, the other one likes another type, and but I think that the most important, again, in that challenge, don't get keep motivated, because sometimes the people they start, and if you don't have passion, maybe you're not going to succeed. It's what I believe, because in the first challenge that you will have, maybe you will give up.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. We should not give up. Like never
Never,
and never.
never.
Never. We need to keep up the passion. So, Tiago, was a beautiful conversation, and I think that all these points, besides learning about your story, which is for sure very interesting, and learning about Maximillion, Preferida, like this is what I love about this little online gathering that we do. Try to share opinion and to talk, all together. I wish more people was commenting and was actually sharing, because this is why we are here. And we can learn so much,
Mhm,
like
mhm,
just
mhm.
talking and sharing ideas. So I
Of
really
course.
appreciate your knowledge, your comments, and your
Just the
time, because I know
beginning.
you are very busy. So it was beautiful to have you.
No, thank you very much again for the opportunity. Arabian Insider, it's a very special uh, partner that I can say that you are with TP since the first beginning, since my first national. So it's nice because that movie that I mentioned about the black stallion, or the bay stallion now from Maximilian, I know that you know all the story of this movie. So this is very nice, and we are creating. If you see, since the beginning of my Instagram from TPA, since the video from the first national, look at the eyes on the future, and it's nice because every time, never forget where you came, where you come. I know that I had the plan. It was growing every year, so it's very nice what we are doing together with the Arabian Insider as well.
Thank you so much for your words, Tiago. It's an honor to be part of your journey, and that's what I love, to be together with the reality since day one, because we grow up together, and it's a shared journey, which is the most important. No, it's a work for me, but yeah, but most of all, it's a passion.
Yes,
So
that's right.
the best part is to enjoy and share passion together.
Thank you very Much, Francesca.
Thiago, thank you so much. I hope to see you here in Europe somewhere, so we don't have to wait 1 year to see each other again. For every one of you that are following, if you don't know TP Arabians, go check it out because it's a beautiful reality, and don't hesitate to connect with Thiago for any kind of info you would like to have, or to Arabian Insider. We are of course very happy to help and support.
Thank you very much.
So I wish you a wonderful evening. Thank you for your time and see you
Thank you very
soon.
much. See you soon.
Ciao,
Bye-bye.
Thiago. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
So this was the beautiful participation of Thiago Pontes in our Arabian Insider news of tonight, August. It's more than an hour that we are connected, but what to do when we are having fun? This is what happens. So the last point I would like to talk about to you tonight is about the Global Champions Arabians Tour. Because, wow, we already did 5 stops. I can't believe that time is flying so fast. And we are about one of the most exciting, at least for me, stops, because of course it's going to happen in Rome, in Italy. And after that, we are going to jump into the final that will be in Riyadh. I'm sure you all know about the Global Champions Arabians Tour, this revolutionary event that came early in January to our industry and changed a lot of things in our industry. Is really like pushing the bar of the Arabian horse events higher and higher and higher, and we don't know where the limits are. I think the limits are only in the sky. So I'm really excited for Rome. We had Valkenswaard in Holland just recently in July, which was absolutely a success. The location was extraordinary, very well done for the horses. We had many entries, the quality was very high, and I was very happy because for the first time I saw so much participation from European breeders and not only from Middle East, which really took the chance to participate in the event and have fun and try to compete with their own horses. And this was a winning a winning point. Now Rome is coming. I can't wait for that. So I would like to invite all of you to follow us or to buy a ticket and come over and actually to participate and enter your horses. The entries for Rome are extended till the 22nd of August. So you still have time to actually enter your horse and take the chance and be there with all of us and make history for the first time ever show in Circo Massimo, which is an extraordinary venue. So I can't wait. We are just few weeks away, and I can't just wait to see what's gonna happen there. So Global Champions Arabians Tour in Rome. We have the new dates, 6, 7 of September. So just mark it in your calendar and don't miss your chance to be part of making history. And then, of course, the last step will be in Riyadh in November. So this is all for today. We are going to have a Global Champions Arabians Tour, probably special exclusive edition before Riyadh, but we're still working on it. So I would like for the moment to thank all of you that decided to take some time to spend in my company, and and to thank all our guests that took the time and willing to share some info and some time with me live for you all. Please text us if you have content you would like us to talk about, if there are guests that you would like us to invite. You know, this is your platform. We are just the connection. I'm just the host that makes this possible, but who makes the industry? It's all of you. So please, let's really live as a community. Let's share passion together. Text me or text an Arabian Insider for every kind of suggestion you would like to have, because this is the best you can do, the best gift. And that's all for tonight. I'm Francesca Ragno. Thank you again, Jarvis Insurance, for supporting and sponsoring the Arabian Insider News. I hope I will see you all again in the next live. Keep up the passion for the Arabian horses. Keep riding and loving your horses, and I see you next time. Ciao!